Have you ever bought a very fresh bunch of cilantro, used only a little of it, and then after leaving the rest in the refrigerator for a few days, it started to wilt, turn yellow, or even become soft in some spots and had to be thrown away? I believe many families run into this situation. Cilantro really is fragrant, and just a little added to a dish can change the flavor right away. But this herb also spoils very quickly if we do not store it properly. Sometimes we only need a few sprigs for soup, salad, eating with tacos, mixing into sauces, cooking curry, or sprinkling over dishes for more fragrance. But if the rest of the bunch is not handled the right way, it can very easily go to waste. So today, Mary Home wants to share with you a few very simple ways to keep cilantro longer. These methods are not complicated, do not require special tools, and only use things already available in the kitchen. Method 1. When you bring cilantro home, the first thing you should do is open the bunch and check it gently. Any leaves that have already turned yellow, been bruised, become waterlogged, or no longer smell fresh should be removed first. This step is small, but very important, because just a few damaged leaves hidden inside can make the whole bunch lose quality more quickly. After that, use a knife or scissors to trim off a small piece from the bottom of the stems. Just like when we arrange flowers in water, a freshly cut base helps the herbs absorb water better. Next, prepare a clean glass jar. Pour a little clean water into the jar, only about 2 to 3 centimeters is enough. There is no need to add too much water, because we only need the base to touch the water. If the leaves are submerged, they can easily become waterlogged and spoil faster. Now place the bunch of cilantro into the jar and let it stand naturally. Which country are you watching this video from? Please leave the name of your country or city in the comments. I am very happy to know that Mary Home's little kitchen is connected with you in many places around the world. Then take a clean plastic bag or a large zip bag and loosely cover the leaves on top. You do not need to tie it too tightly. Just cover it lightly so the herbs can keep a moderate amount of moisture. Place the jar of cilantro in the refrigerator. If after a few days the water in the jar becomes a little cloudy, replace it with fresh water. When you need to use some, just take out a few sprigs, and leave the rest in the jar. This method is very suitable if you want to use fresh cilantro over a few days up to about a week. If the cilantro was very fresh when you bought it and you change the water regularly, it may last even longer. Have you ever tried standing cilantro in a jar of water like this? If you have, please share with me how long you are usually able to keep it. And if not, I think you should try it right away. Method 2. First, you still remove any yellow leaves, bruised leaves, and any parts that are no longer fresh. This is a step I always recommend doing before storing any herb. With cilantro, if it is still clean and you do not need to use it right away, you may not need to wash it yet. Washing it only when you are ready to eat it can help keep excess moisture off the herb and help it last longer. But if you want to wash it in advance for convenience, that is fine too. Just remember to wash it very gently under water. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, you can click the subscribe button to support me. After washing, let the herb dry very well. You can place it on a clean towel, then gently pat away the water still clinging to the leaves and stems. Do not rub hard, because cilantro is very soft, and if it gets bruised, it will spoil faster. When the cilantro has dried, take a sheet of dry paper towel or one that is only slightly damp and spread it out on the table. Place the cilantro on top, then roll it up gently. There is no need to roll it too tightly, just enough for the paper towel to wrap around the bunch. The paper towel will help absorb excess moisture. Because if cilantro is too dry, it wilts easily, but if it is too wet, it becomes waterlogged easily. So we need to keep it at just the right level of moisture, without water collecting on it. After that, place the bunch wrapped in paper towel into an airtight container or a zip bag. If using a zip bag, you can close it almost all the way, leaving a small opening so the herbs do not become too suffocated. Finally, place the container or bag in the refrigerator, preferably in the vegetable drawer. This method is very convenient for families that usually use cilantro within a few days to about 1 or 2 weeks. Each time you need some, just open the container, take out a little, and close it again right away. You see, sometimes just adding a layer of paper towel can protect your bunch of cilantro much better. If your family usually buys cilantro once a week, then this method is definitely worth trying. Method 3. Now, if you have quite a large bunch of cilantro, or you already know that you will not use it all in the next few days, then do not wait until it wilts and regret it later. We can chop it and freeze it to use gradually. Choose cilantro that has already been washed and dried as in method 2. Chop it into the size your family usually uses. You can cut both the leaves and the tender stems. Many people use only the leaves, but in fact, the tender stems of cilantro are also very fragrant. If you throw away all the stems, it is a bit wasteful. Only the older roots, tough parts, or parts that are no longer fresh should be removed. If the cilantro still feels damp, you should dry it very thoroughly. This is an important secret that helps you freeze cilantro while still keeping it fragrant and good. After chopping, place the cilantro into a zip bag or a food container. I prefer choosing a container because it is easier to use and frozen cilantro keeps better in it. Now place the container of cilantro into the freezer. When cooking, you do not need to thaw it first. Just open the container, take out a little frozen cilantro, and add it directly into the dish while it is cooking. The heat will soften the herb very quickly, and the aroma will blend into the dish. You see, frozen cilantro is very easy to use. Of course, the color will not look like fresh cilantro, but you can absolutely use it for hot dishes, and it is still very fragrant. And of course, for salads or garnishing, you should choose the 2 storage methods above. After watching this, do you want to make a container of frozen cilantro right away? Method 4. The 4th method is also very convenient, especially if you like to prepare small portions in advance so that when you cook, you can just take one out and use it right away. That is making frozen cilantro cubes with an ice tray. You also chop the cilantro the same way as in method 3. Remember that in this method, the cilantro has already been washed and cleaned thoroughly, because later we will eat it directly. And in this method, the cilantro does not need to be as dry as in method 3. Next, prepare a clean ice cube tray. Put the chopped cilantro into each small compartment of the tray. There is no need to pack it too tightly, just use enough for one time of cooking. If your family often uses cilantro for soup, broth, stews, or stock, you can pour clean water into the tray. Just add enough to cover the cilantro. Then put the tray into the freezer. When the cilantro cubes are fully frozen, remove them from the tray, place them into a zip bag or an airtight container, and continue storing them in the freezer. When cooking, you only need to take 1 cube and drop it straight into the pot. The ice cube will melt, and the cilantro will blend into the dish. This method is very convenient, especially on busy days. If you usually use cilantro for sauces, pan-seared dishes, marinating meat or fish, or Western-style dishes, you can use a little olive oil instead of water. The olive oil will coat the cilantro and make the cubes easier to use in oily dishes or sauces. But please remember, whether you use water or olive oil, frozen cilantro is still most suitable for cooked dishes. You should not expect it to look like freshly cut cilantro for decorating food. With this method, you can store cilantro in the freezer for several months. But for the best aroma, I recommend using it within about 3 to 6 months. The longer it is stored, the more its natural fragrance gradually fades. I hope these little tips will help you keep cilantro fresh longer, save more, and no longer feel regret when you see cilantro spoiling in the refrigerator. If you find this video helpful, please press like to support Merry Home. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe so we can continue meeting each other in simple, practical, and familiar kitchen tips like these. Thank you for watching the video.